You got the touch.
This is Stan Bush, and this epic video from Optibotimus truly has the touch.
Another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Bumblebee. I don't know if you could hear that, but that was Luna saying hi to you guys. But Bumblebee comes with a firing eagle shot bow, and as you can see, really nice image here of Predaking. I don't know exactly what they're calling him. I think they're calling him Predaking in the show. We'll find out. But as you can see, this is Series 2, figure number 1. You got his tech specs here on the side. You got other figures in the current wave. On the bottom, come around here to the back. You got the characters for Transformers Prime, yet they're in their original mode. They're not looking like this. So we'll see. And then this is kind of interesting. It's got one of these little scan doodad things. That's the first time I think I've seen that. That's for IDW, the comic book company. And you come up to the top and you see a very, very wimpy bio. It says, Adventurers, Autobot Scout, and Discoverer of a secret stash of ancient and powerful weapons. That's it. So, really kind of cool. I do like the packaging on here. It's simple and it's really kind of bright. It's definitely interesting to me. He's all squished looking in the box here. Kind of reminds me of how we got Bumblebee from the movie line, how he was like squatted down in the package. But there's Bumblebee. So let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Bumblebee open up and out its packaging, and one thing that I neglected to mention is that some people had mentioned that the instructions actually had a lot more of a bio than the actual card back itself, and that's absolutely true. If I fold this open, you can actually see a whole like kind of tech spec sort of thing here, showing Bumblebee holding his crossbow, or eagle shot bow, and you see that it instantly locks on targets up to 3 miles away, fires charged plasma bolts that melt through most metal, and it says smart bolts track targets even around corners, which is really very cool. And then you come down here to this bottom section, and folding this all in, you get a little bit of a story here about what's going on with Beast Hunters. And it says, with the threat of Predaking looming over them all, Avery Autobot dedicates himself to discovering some means of battling the Predacon overlord. But it is the scout Bumblebee who discovers what may be the key to victory. Buried deep within data recovered alongside one of the Iacon relics, he finds evidence of a derelict transport starship, a courier packed with weapons more ancient than any relic yet discovered, set adrift ages ago among the asteroids girdling Earth's solar system. With no way to reach the ancient ship, and not wanting to waste time, he contacts Wheeljack, hoping the Autobot mercenary can provide transport and, if it turns out to be a trap, an extra blaster. So really very cool. We're actually starting to get some of the story here for Beast Hunters, and I really hope that that's really what it is. Otherwise, it's going to be really tricky and will kind of annoy me, actually. But as you see, it says continued in Chapter 2, Deluxe Soundwave. And obviously, we'll do that part when we get to Soundwave himself. Now, as for Bumblebee himself, this thing is ridiculously awesome. This just screams Dark of the Moon Wrecker to me. I mean, that's exactly what this really kind of looks like. With all the, well, not so much with the spikes, but like with all these weapons everywhere. I so love this guy. Now, for a comparison, here's the new Beast Hunters version, and here's the original RID one. Now, on the outside, there is a lot completely different about this figure. It follows the same kind of design aesthetic, but so much on the outside that you're seeing is completely newly molded. I mean, this thing is just phenomenal. Now, his weapons peg on here, and honestly, I think it looks better with these weapons just pegged in there because it really just gives that huge, massive, scary factor to them. But to try and showcase some of these differences, I'm going to take them off. As you can see, I mean, it's just amazing how different this is. The roof is completely different, all the way from the back section to the windshield, all new. The doors on here are all new. The front roof section here is all new. This bit right here, the center bit, is actually the same. These side bits are all new. You flip around here on the back, obviously these, well, that's separate. Come on, don't make things look ugly, Bumblebee. Come on now. stay down there. All right. The whole back section here, this is all new. I mean, you can see he's got dual exhaust. He's only got one here, and he does have all these spikes flipping out of him. But in addition to these spikes that are added onto it, like I said, the base plastic is all brand new. So, I mean, it's so wickedly cool how much is different about this thing, and really makes me appreciate this figure so much more. Now, like you can see, you can add these on here. He's got this eagle shooter thing, which just pegs right on there. And then, of course, these are identically molded. These two blasters here that we got previously with the RID Bumblebee. But again, who cares? Because it just, you plug it on there and it's super armor vehicle, dude. I mean, so freaking awesome. Now, all these missiles, you got a total of 6 of them. And actually, that should be the other way around. Sorry. Why would you want to have missiles pointing backwards? You can peg this in here, and actually when you do it, you can see it extends these out. So let me put that back in there. So you put that in there, and then as you push this in, it extends these wings out, which is really very cool. And then you shoot it, and holy cow, that shoots real well. I'm gonna try that again, and then peg that right in there, and phew, damn, that really does shoot really well. And then these just slide out as well. They're not permanently attached. The actual holster, well, not holster thing, but this is kind of permanently attached. You can see that it sort of pegs in there. You could probably remove it if you really wanted to, but I don't really want to, so we're just gonna leave that around. And I have no idea why this is not tabbing down as good as it did before. I jacked something up when I transformed them back, I honestly think. But these little bits, like I said, they just slide right in there and just add to the absolutely awesome look of it. And then you can fold these closed, and then you got the little bits right here that can store these extra missiles here on the top. Just a super cool looking wrecker sort of vehicle. I mean, this thing is just armed to the teeth, and I love it. Now, the transformation is exactly the same, except for one minor piece. Like I said, the entire roof section is different. So if you remember on this guy, the back section here actually folded under, and I'll show that off here in a little bit. This does not do that at all. So to transform, we're going to take that off. Going to use these kind of to open the doors, and then just rotate these around. And they're on like kind of ratchet joints, so you want to rotate them around like so. Open this up, kind of get that out of the way, rotate these arms, kind of loosen that up, rotate those down, just like that. And then these legs here, you can straighten these out. Like I said, the design is exactly the same as the previous version of Bumblebee, but all these bits there's so much that's new to it. It makes this figure so much fun. And just angle that out like so. And then you have get this out of the way, the same kind of revealer gimmick where you just take this, rotate this around, and the head comes out, and then just straighten all this out like so. Angle that down. Now we'll get to this here in a second, kind of flail these out. Now normally you would take this section and fold it under, and then it would actually tab into a section right under here. You can't do that on here because there is no tab here to do it. That does kind of suck. I wish there was a way that they actually incorporated that, but honestly what I just do is just kind of angle it there myself where it's going to be along his backside. Kind of fills it in. You can lift it up even higher, fills it in a little bit more, but he still has that hollow kind of emptiness, very thin look to him. And then just straightening out his feet. Like I said, I like angling these to show that little spike on his knee out, or highlight that a little bit more. Just straighten this out like so. Trying to get his feet positioned right, something like that, I guess. Rotate these around, and then these bits here, actually you can rotate these up, and these will sort of lock into position up at the top. Just another big giant spike thing added to the character himself. And then these wings, you can kind of fold these out however really you want to. Set it just like so, and straighten out his head just a little. And I mean, seriously guys, that is one really cool looking Autobot. Now you can take this, and this makes it look a little bit better if you kind of leave it down like that. This you can kind of leave pegged onto his back. You don't have to remove that. And then when you put that down there, it just kind of fills things in a little bit more, I suppose. But it's personal preference, I guess. I think it looks pretty good when you do it like that. But I love this figure. This thing is just so wickedly awesome. I mean, all these spikes are just monstrous, crazy things all over them. And I don't know what it is about it. I just think it looks so seriously badass. Now, he still has a little bit where his head doesn't seem to go back all the way. That doesn't bug me all that much. It's a little bit better than the previous Bumblebee, but you can see though, I mean, his torso doesn't like, I don't know, you're fiddling with it, or I'm fiddling with it a little bit. I don't know. The fact that you can't plug this into his back kind of bugs me a little bit, but I mean, it's not too bad. It's not a thing that I'm gonna really knock off of him, but it is definitely something that kind of bugs me, I suppose. And then the other bit, I guess, would be he looks really big in the upper body, but still, it's not something that's overly negative in my opinion, I guess. And then for a little bit of a comparison here, we're going to set him off to the side. And here you have him next to the RID one. And again, huge difference between these guys. Now, there are a lot more similar pieces that you're going to notice, but a lot of them are small, minor pieces, such as like his thighs, this waist area, the arms, and the upper forearm bit here. The front section here is newly molded. The actual back section here is also newly molded, as you could see from the other side when he was in vehicle mode. Now, his shins are the same, the feet are the same. So he does have a lot of similarities and utilizes a lot of the same smaller bits, but a lot of the bigger parts on this guy are completely different. And one of the coolest aspects would probably be his new head. And honestly, like, his eyes look like there's reddish through them. That is really wicked cool. He looks pissed. Please excuse the language, but that is all I can think of to describe him. The other thing that I find kind of weird, if you notice here on the back, you got this weird kind of, I guess, like marbling of the paint. I don't know exactly what that's supposed to replicate. You have it here on the back as well, up inside here and on the doors. Now, I've seen other figures that have had this. All the new ones seems to have this swirly kind of paint in them. And somebody mentioned that maybe that's supposed to replicate rust or something, but if that's the case, I mean, I don't care. I think that just adds another kind of dimension to this figure, which really, really looks cool. I love the Autobot logo there. I mean, everything about this guy is an absolute win, in my opinion. This easily is amongst my top Bumblebee figures in several years. I mean, I really do dig this guy. You can just add those guns right on there on the side. And like I said, for me, this easily ranks up there as the best Bumblebees in my collection. It's just so crazy looking that I love the thing. Now, to transform him back, you're going to want to remove these arm weapons, and you can just peg those together. I'm going to go, oh, I guess I should show this off as well. He can hold this as a hand weapon. It doesn't really work all that good because the peg is a little bit smaller, so you just open that up, and these bits right here, once you kind of open them, they kind of lock into place. So you can have them hold it, except the handle is kind of small, so that's him holding his gun, I suppose. But honestly, for me, I really do prefer just to leave this on his back and leave this as part of kind of his vehicle mode, I suppose. Whereas the guns here, I will use more as the actual robot weapon. So just peg that right in there, like so. Take these bits, these are going to rotate down, and you need to kind of lift them and pull them down. And then when you bring it around, you want to make sure that you have them in the front, because as you can see, these little spike things are going to come right out here in the front, just like so. Take this section, rotate this up, kind of tuck that in like so. Keep these doors opened up. Fold this back. Fold this section down and around. Do that on this side as well. Oops. Rotate that around. That's very stiff. Then peg these together nicely. These are going to come up, and then here, I'm going to take this off just so I can get a good push on here. Push these. There's little holes here, and then tab sections on the back. You're going to lock that into place, just like so. Except it doesn't want to now. No, there we go. All right, just like so. Then take these doors or these arms, rotate these down and around. Do that on both sides. Just like so. Bring the doors in, close those, rotate the missiles forward. Do that on this side as well. Rotate the missiles forward. Take the gun engine, peg that on the top just like so. Straighten that out, and then these roof missiles, and here you have a seriously awesome looking Bumblebee back in his vehicle mode. Now the bottom line for a lot of people, they're gonna not want to pick this guy up because it's another Bumblebee, and I can honestly totally appreciate and respect that decision, but I really think that this guy deserves an honest attempt at fitting into your collection. I really am impressed with the completely new design. Well, not even the new design, because like I said, the design is pretty much the same, but the remold of all the parts on here, all the major parts, is absolutely phenomenal. This guy just, in terms of figure form, looks great, and I personally think that he deserves a place on your collection. Now, if you're having a hard time finding this, and if you do want to pick this guy up, go ahead and click on the link down in the video description. That'll take you to Big Bad Toy Store, and you can pick this guy up, or you can pick up the entire wave of new Beast Hunter Deluxe figures. An investment, honestly, in my opinion, that is well worth the price. But that's about it, guys. So until next time, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.
When the going gets rough.